We're going to jump into making some short videos from your sermons and Bible classes. We're going to go check. And first you need your sermon. I record mine, stream it live into YouTube and download it there. I suppose you could do it from Facebook, however you get your files. So we go to download. And then we want to go to John 19, Hail King of the Jews. We'll create that. It's kind of a struggle with the slides, but it's not that important for our sermon. We don't really use that. Now it's going to make the transcript immediately off of what I say. This is really slick because it allows you to go through your sermon and make clips using the transcript that it makes automatically from what you say. And that'll take a few seconds. While that's happening, I think we can go ahead and change up the sequences. I don't know if you have to highlight that, but let's see what happens. Sure enough, that seemed to work. This is 1280 by 720, so this is 720p. We're going to make this 720 by 1280. That will flip it. And of course we want to do that. And then it looks like that, which is great. Now we're going to want to zoom in a little bit with the effects controls. For scale, the magic number is 178. And push tab to get that to zoom into the right spot, which is perfect. And the last thing we're going to do is captions, but we need to wait for the transcript to finish. It's 2/3 of the way through. One other thing you can do as you go through this, see how I'm off a little bit? You can move yourself over. Go back to the effects controls and let's go, I believe it is anchor point is what I grab. And you just take your mouse and you go right or left and get yourself kind of centered. And then grab your video back and forth a little bit. That's pretty good. Maybe shift it over a little bit, but I think we'll run with it. Maybe a little shift over a teensy bit more. All right, we'll call that good. How are the transcripts doing? Well, it's almost done. From there, I think we actually need to wait for the captions to do something else. But what you're going to do is find a chunk that you like. And then you're going to highlight the words, and it'll make these two marks. And in and out, there we go. And this takes a whole lot less time. It just takes the words from there and dices it up so that they appear at the bottom. That's too small. So what we do is we highlight this. Then this magically jumps in. I don't know about you, but for my bulletin and everything that I do, I use Gill Sans regular. There's a little bit of lag here, which is okay. The font size I like is 84, not 48. And we're going to go down to the second number here. We're going to go -120. And I think that's about the height that I like the text to be at. For Bible class, of course, it's a little bit more involved because there's a copy of it, but let's just do the sermon here first. So let's go back to transcript. We're going to try to find something to say. Your Christian friends, I always say, dear Christian friends. This is the sermons from the enemies of Jesus. Just for simplicity's sake, you want to clip it what you want, but if you watch, it'll tell you right here, 36 seconds. Well, you can have up to a minute, and it's really exact. It's really good. Oh, minute 3, it's too much. So let's go here. 59:17, perfect. Now, I don't even know if I really like that, but you can listen to it, and then for the captions, kind of listen to
Until he was 30 years old. That's not remarkable.
He was 30 years old.
Yeah.
When he was 30, he started his public ministry, and then
When he
for
was
3
30,
years
he
he was
started his
an
public
itinerant
ministry, and then
preacher.
for 3
Pretty good.
years he was an
But he never owned a home. He never wrote a
owned a
book.
home.
Flawless here.
He never really
He never
traveled
wrote a
far
book.
from his place of
He
birth.
never really traveled far from his place of birth.
He never did anything that added up to normal human
He never
grace.
did anything
caught
that
the
added
stutter?
up to normal.
And when you look at the
human
people around him, the authorities of the day
grace. When you look at
condemned
the
his
people
teaching.
around him, the authorities of the day
His
condemned
friends
his teaching.
deserted him when he needed them the most.
His friends deserted him when he needed them the most.
One of them betrayed him.
We're already off.
One of them
That's remarkable.
betrayed
Usually
him.
you have to make, well, to edit, you just highlight and you could say one of them betrayed him. And it doesn't matter. Whatever you have in that spot, it'll just read it.
His friends deserted him when he needed them the most.
His friends deserted him when he needed them the
One
most.
of them betrayed him.
It's obviously a bad idea.
One of them
Worse,
betrayed him.
but you see the idea. Now, a lot of times you do have to catch it, but that was really good Premiere Pro. Now, let's get it out of here. So we go to export. And this is confusing until you realize there's not really that much to it. What you're looking for is the source in and out. It's 59 seconds long. I usually name it something like intro. And then you're going to get a pile of videos. I usually have, 10 per sermon and 10 per Bible class. Doesn't really matter. And all of this looks good. And we just push export. All of that's great. Now your settings might be different, but I doubt it. So let's just push export. It doesn't take long because it's only a minute. And let's pull up our video folder or whatever your default is. There we go. There we go. And here's intro. Now, I don't know exactly why, but I feel like after I'm editing for a while, the files get significantly bigger. The quality doesn't change. It's the same multi-bit rate or whatever. And it doesn't look bad. So
Dear Christian friends,
I've uploaded it. And
there are some who have characterized Jesus as one who lived a solitary life.
Yeah, and you just take that file, upload it to YouTube, and it'll automatically know it's a short, and then it'll ask you what to do with it. One thing to note, and let me just do this for you. When you go to YouTube, it's going to ask you a couple things here. So you go to your YouTube channel, and let's go to YouTube Studio. Let's just upload this video. So we go to create, upload, select files. It should remember the last place you look. It didn't even. Go to intro, open. Again, this doesn't take long because these files are itty bitty. And you can add hashtags. I don't do a lot of that. You can. I'd play around with it. I usually add my tags here. I just have a draft in Gmail that I copy and paste every time. You go to draft, I think it's this one. And so I'll go double click. These are just commas, no spaces in between. And then you go like that, boom, you just tagged everything. And it's just Star Bethlehem, Fred Goldberg, Winston-Salem, anything you want. Try it. Young men, Jesus, Lent, doesn't matter. I say no because you want these to be monetized. You want YouTube to grab these. And I have gotten no complaints. Then I usually throw them into sermons. And intro is fine. The description, type whatever you want. What I want to show you is this. Add subtitles. You don't need to do. You already got that. Add a related video. This will point it back to your sermon so that they can always go to it if they want to. Other than that, I schedule these things. I space them out. I do 5:30, noon, 3, 5:30 noon, and then 9 at night. Depends how many I have. Play around with the timing. See what matters. And then I do the same thing when I go to Meta. Use the business suite because then you can go to Facebook and Instagram at the same time. You go to add a video, intro.
Dear Christian friends,
It starts working right away.
there are some who have characterized Jesus,
which is kind of cool. And then you need to keep short, this intro, because they don't have a lot of information on Facebook and Insta. So let's go just intro to the sermon or just some copy. You can make it as clickbaity as you want. Next, you don't need to crop it. You already did that. Schedule whatever time you want. 5:30, sure, 5. Then I've been doing this. You don't have to do the playlist, but I have. Create playlist. Enemy sermon. And then, who are we talking about here? That's terrible. There's only a couple days ago. I think it was the chief priests. If I can spell priests. Maybe don't spell it wrong. Chief priests. Create. And then I've turned this off because I'd rather not them take my minute and do something with it. I'm not worried about being famous. I just want to tell people about Jesus, and I'd rather not be abused. So that's what I do. And you click schedule. I'm not going to because I'd delete it and then it'll be posted. If you have any questions, and I've had some good results. I suppose I could just show you that quickly. Way better results. 142 hours of these little videos. I've gained 200 subscribers in 3 months. It's been remarkable. And they kind of run their course, usually about 500, but they do go viral on occasion. That one got to 2,300, so I don't know. Meta does the same thing. And I don't know why they pick some and not others. And you can just see how sometimes, like, why did this one go to 1,000 on Instagram? What's wrong with Old Testament worship? How's that clickbaity? I don't know. And that one, how much do Americans spend on church? That one was on Facebook and not Insta. Why did it grab there? I have no idea. But that's about it. And you can see some of the names of what I do. Oh, the other thing I was going to show you is the audience. YouTube is heavily male, and it's almost the exact opposite when you go to Meta. So that's 78.3 and 21.7 male to female. Then you go to Meta, and where's the audience? Boom. It is 70 women and 29% men. So there you have it. If you want to reach men, don't go on Facebook and Instagram. I guess that's a generalization, but that just seems striking to me. Have a great day.